Okay, thanks for hanging on, guys. I had to restart the stream because it timed out while I was using the restroom and making myself a drink. But we are back and we're gonna get going again. Is Cust a seducer? Medium-sized glasses, completely harmless. That is the opposite of a seducer. Does Cust like trains? And he wasn't frightening. He does not like trains. Is he impulsive? There we go. He's cold. Is he generous? He is not generous.
You see? Cuss' character is quite the opposite of the murderer's.
But if he's a madman, can we really talk about his character?
You know very well that our murderer does not behave like a psychopath. Apart from the signature, there is no ritual repetition in the choice of victims.
Very well, you're right as always. So we have no confession, no culprit, no suspects, nothing. And all that after 2 months of inquiry? What should I do?
Have faith. Just give me 24 hours.
Okay, go home.
To White Heaven, please.
Cust's arrest is a great success for you, Poirot. It's all clear now, except maybe one or two details.
Details. Ah, mon ami. The devil is in the detail, as we say.
Excuse me?
Patience, Hastings. Everything will be clear once our guests arrive. Best be prepared. Slip a revolver into your pocket before they do.
A revolver? But Poirot, what are you afraid of?
Trust me. It is important you carry a weapon for this meeting. I will lend you mine.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
Surtout pas. You wouldn't be able to play your role. Wait one moment, I will bring you my weapon.
Okay. I need to go get my revolver.
The white ammunition are blank cartridges. The others are real bullets. The revolver is
Sorry about that,
loaded with
Xenomorph.
rounds. Still have time
It
to
looks like
choose
my
real
stream timed
bullets.
out when I was off. Excuse me.
The revolver is loaded
When I was off getting
with
stuff
real
ready.
bullets. I still have time to choose blanks.
I think I want to choose the blanks. I probably don't want to shoot
The
someone.
white ammunition are blank cart.
Yeah, let's take the blanks.
The revolver is loaded with blanks. I still have time to choose real bullets.
What about telling me what you have in mind?
I don't know yet. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be
Play your role.
using the revolver to ambush the real murderer. Oh, I can look at the alligator finally. Okay, what's the next step? Bring the revolver to Hastings. Okay. I don't know, I just feel with the way that this game's progressed so far, and he talks
Voilà,
earlier
I
about
entrust you
how
with my
he
weapon.
doesn't like
It has
using his
hardly been
gun,
used. It is almost
that
new.
I'd, like, playing as his character, he wouldn't use bullets. Gandhi mustache achievement. Have opted for a non-violent end by choosing blank bullets, so that just got me an extra achievement.
Chief Inspector, is that you?
Yes. Sorry, but we haven't found anything.
Have you checked the typewriter?
And the packaging, the letter, and the ribbon reel. We've only found prints left by Cust and his landlady.
Well, never mind. I shall make do.
So, are you still going to hold your meeting?
Of course, Chief Inspector. I can hear my guest coming up the stairs.
Why have you brought us here, Mr. Poirot?
Since Cust's arrest, I thought it was all done and dusted. Miss Gray formally identified him, as well as Miss Barnard.
Yes, and the stockings he saw drove the same brand as the ones found at my aunt's.
This is all true. However, a case is not closed if some questions remain open. And one question is, why did the murderer send me his letters? Why did he challenge me, Hercule Poirot?
Perhaps he wanted to play with you, to taunt you.
Xenophobia? Maybe he didn't like you because you're foreign.
I may be wrong, but maybe by provoking you, he was looking for glory?
All these theories should be studied. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Let's see. Why did the murderer make a mistake in the address? Now that's what happened because it was late, not why. His address is not well known. Piece of envelope with the wrong address. Inferiority complex? No. Xenophobia? No. Interesting. What could it be? For glory? That doesn't explain why. Piece of envelope with the wrong address. His address is not well known. Yeah, it's actually... There's a lot of really clever stuff. If you've played the Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment, it's like a longer version of that. The body was still warm. What if it was always warned him, it saved him? There we go. The mistake was intentional. Why did the killer send his letters to Hercule Poirot? For glory. Nope. Not inferiority complex. Xenophobia? It's none of those. I have no idea which one it would be. There we go. He wrote because his address is not well known? That doesn't make sense to me.
Is everything clear now?
You might like to explain your reasoning again.
Of course. First of all, remember that the murderer made it a rule to always post his letter before the murder. He never digressed from that rule. However, in Churston, he encountered a problem. The village has only 500 inhabitants. With advance warning, it would be easy to arrest him. Therefore, the murderer delayed his letters deliberately with the wrong address. The plan wouldn't have worked if he'd sent it to Scotland Yard or the papers because everybody knows their addresses. The mistake would have been corrected and the letter would have been on time.
Interesting.
That is why the murderer chose me as the recipient.
Because for his plan to succeed, it was necessary for at least one of the letters to have a wrong address and get lost. It was very cunning.
Absolument. It is a very subtle plan. It matches the profile we have drawn up of him perfectly. That of an intelligent, daring and calculating murderer.
But that's not how you describe Cust.
You are quite right, mademoiselle. Like you, I find it hard to believe that this dull character is the clever murderer we are looking for.
Do madmen... I mean, if he's mad, he might have two very different sides.
No doubt. But the murderer is not mad. All the specialists agree that he does not have the profile of the psychopath.
But if Cust is not guilty, how do you explain his presence at the scene of the crimes?
Mr. Clark, the answer to your question is in the medical records of your brother's patients. Documents which Cust most certainly did not have access to. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay, so it's gonna end up being, the brother of the third murder. What do we know about Cust? Easily influenced. What is this? Cust was in the war and never... The murderer found his way... I gotta not take these out. Asher. Yeah, I'm actually really excited about We Happy Few coming to the Xbox One. It looks amazing. I prefer physical games, which it makes me a little sad that it's going to be coming as a preview program first. Because that means that if it does get a physical release, it'll be a little while. And I like to have a big collection, but... Travel sickness by traveling by train. He's easily influenced. That should be something about him. I'm just gonna go through all of them, see if that's the option that I need. There it is. He's mentally fragile and easy to manipulate. How to explain his presence at the crime scenes. Yeah, my girlfriend really wants to play it together, which means I'm gonna have to wait until early August to play it because she's actually not in the country right now. Was in the war. That's not it. Okay, so his presence at the crime scene. It's got to be newspapers because he wanted to see it. Coincidence that he went to the victim's towns? No. Travel sickness? No. He wanted to swim? No. Let's just go through them and see. That's not it either. I'm just gonna try to cheese this one because I have no idea. Seems like all the ones that make sense to me are wrong. Yeah, it's actually really enjoyable. Like, it definitely a thinking game. If you haven't played Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishment, it's very similar. I have no idea which one it would be. I mean, there can't be that many options. Man, this makes me feel really dumb because I cannot figure this out. He's mentally unstable. How to explain his presence at the crime scene? What about? That didn't really seem to have anything to do with him. Well, I figured that out.
Dr. Clark's patient's records provided a very useful list of potential victims, sorted by alphabetical order. The killer definitely used it, explaining the fact that all the victims were former patients of the doctor. It is this fact that clears Cust once and for all, because he never had access to these records. So how did he happen to be at the scene of the crimes? Either the murderer sent him there, or Cust was following him closely. Cust's highly suggestible nature leads us to the second hypothesis. The murderer was manipulating him. He systematically sent Cust to the towns where he was going to strike, so that the suspicion would land on the poor man's shoulder.
That's evil. What sort of killer could have such a plan? And what would he gain from 3 completely different murders?
Indeed, it seems unlikely that the same murderer committed all the crimes. What should we take from that? Just one murder was of benefit to the murderer. The others were just diversions. On reflection, there is only one conclusion. The murderer killed once out of interest, and twice to divert our attention. This reasoning points at 2 potential culprits.
Frankly,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking after
Donald Fraser?
after learning more about him.
Yes, mademoiselle. That's good thinking. Mr. Fraser may have killed Betty out of jealousy. Mr. Clark may have killed his brother
I
in
think it's
order
going to be
inherit
Mr.
his
Clark,
large
because he's the only one who'd
Both
have
have
access to the
motive.
medical records.
But Donald did not have access to Dr. Clark's records.
Please allow me to disagree with you,
Oh.
mademoiselle. He works for Court and Brunskill. One of
Oh,
whose
I completely
clients
forgot
was
about
Sir
that. That was
Carmichael.
something I learned like 4 hours ago.
It doesn't prove that I went to Comeside.
You could have done it. And you may have used the opportunity to take a look at Sir Carmichael's records.
You think I'm guilty?
You or Mr. Franklin Clark.
That's ridiculous.
Both of you have a motive. The question is, which of you has the profile that most resembles the murderer? Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay, more of this, of me struggling to think right. Is Donald clever? Bright man with a promising career ahead of him? Is he sure of himself? How about that one? He's easy to influence as well. Wouldn't be able to tell what Poirot is saying without subtitles. Yeah, the French accent. He's actually from Belgium and speaks French, but that accent is impossible. Is he a seducer? Does he like trains? He does like trains. Is he impulsive? Quick-tempered. Is he generous? He is generous.
Ladies and gentlemen, Donald may share many character traits with the murderer, but he does not have his cold indifference. He has a temper. It is hard to imagine him planning anything.
I like trains.
Also, jealousy is his motive, and crimes of passion are rarely planned.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of a weird
it's
little
my
question.
turn to be subjected to the same scrutiny.
Absolument, Mr. Clark. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay. Is Franklin clever? Thank you for defending Manchester. This is robbery. Things could have been pretty cool-blooded. Sweet charms. According to student will lack discipline. There we go. Is he sure of himself? He's generous. That's not it. Come on, Poirot, married man. There we go. Self-confident. Is he a seducer? There we go. Does he like trains? Is he impulsive? go. Generous. That's all of them.
As you have all seen, there is a disturbing similarity between Mr. Clark's profile and that of the killer. In actual fact, it is exactly the same.
Mr. Poirot, your psychological studies are interesting, but your conclusions do not add up. Why would I have wished my brother's death? The
Yeah, he
inheritance
definitely
is
likes
lawfully
trains.
mine.
His
I
favorite
just
book
had
is
to
about
wait.
trains.
No, you had to act quickly. Because you are incapable of waiting.
Really? Well, I am no murderer. You presented him as being a cold and patient schemer.
Certes, normalement. But Lady Clark's imminent death precipitated events. Mademoiselle, although you haven't been telling the truth, there is no doubt in my mind that you would have found a way to marry Sir Carmichael after Lady Clark's death. For you, Mr. Clark, it was a disaster. If Miss Grey had children by your brother, you would not have inherited a thing. You realized the danger after reading several letters from Comside, especially one in which your brother opened his heart to you. So you hurried home from China, and you took action. In truth, Cust was no more than a puppet manipulated by the real culprit. You, Mr. Clark.
Such an imagination, Mr. Poirot. In fact, nobody manipulated
Yeah,
Cust.
he's disproving all my
The famous
theories
instructions
of
he
everything
received by
too.
post. He wrote them on the typewriter. We know that for sure.
Oh no. You know perfectly well. That is not true. Eh bien voilà. Light has now been shed on the ABC murders.
Your theories are ingenious, but you haven't any proof.
One point to him. For the moment, I have no material proof. Either I admit to it, or I bluff. One thing proves it. The prints you left on Cust's typewriter.
Enough.
Oh, of course you wiped the typewriter before sending it. But not carefully enough. Scotland Yard has found your print along with those of Cust.
I understand why you never wanted to lend me your new typewriter. And why you were searching through your brother's things.
Oh dang!
And the hole you dug on the moors. What did you hide there? The knife you used to kill your brother?
Game, set, match. You win, Mr. Poirot. But it was worth trying. Don't come near me!
Ah!
I'll never let you take me, Mr. Poirot.
And remember, I loaded that gun with blanks.
I'm sorry, Mr. Clark, there is no easy death for you. I expected your reaction, so I used blanks. I'm sorry, mademoiselle, but your second chance has been lost. Franklin Clark will never inherit his brother's fortune.
Yeah, otherwise that guy would have shot himself inside my office and then it would have been one hell of a mess to clean up.
Disappointed at having missed the chance to become Lady Clark, Thora Grey left England. Donald Fraser and Megan Barnard married. On Poirot's recommendation, Mary Drower started to work for Lady Clark. The elderly lady's condition suddenly took a turn for the better. And a few months later, to Dr. Logan's great surprise, she was back on her feet again. According to this eminent physician, it appears to be an extremely rare case of spontaneous remission. Lady Clark has enjoyed very good health ever since. Journal of an Innocent, the incredible story of ABC. As for A.B. Cust, after being advised by Poirot, he made a great deal of money by selling his story to the press. And
Well, that's
for
good.
me, and with business booming, The Black Swan has become the #1 tourist attraction in the whole of Yorkshire, even more popular than York Minster.
Oh yeah, if he thinks that pants on a chair is a mess, imagine what he'd think about blood. Especially the blood all over his white suit. Like, he wore that what was it, white or light blue, whatever color it was. Like, you'd never get the blood out of that thing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and skip through these. Let's see, bonuses, achievements. I got a bunch of achievements. Cool, I'm going to... Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to end the broadcast for just a moment while I get the other game set up. So I'll be off for just a couple minutes. I'll be right back.